Hello everyone, I'm Bob Cecilio. I'm founder of the Queen's Psychic Club, and I am your host now on Psychic Awakening. We have a cable show in Queens, New York City that is called Psychic Awakening. We've been involved with the psychic phenomena for 16 years. Our very first guest on Psychic Awakening was John Edwards way back when, and he also spoke at the club, the Queen's Psychic Club of New York, which is what I'm here to talk about. We have a website, which I'll www.queenspsychicclubofnyc.com. We'll put that up later. But let me tell you how this all started. We all have different approaches to spirituality, and some are skeptics, some are not. Everybody has their own beliefs. Well, I was a skeptic, the biggest skeptic in the world, until back in 1991, our son died of AIDS. And we were of the Catholic persuasion, and in those days, when I was a youngster, homosexuality was a mortal sin, and anyone who was homosexual would die and burn in hell for eternity. And as the parents of a homosexual boy, I was a wonderful child, we feared for his soul. So what we did, my wife and I, as coincidence would have it, as synchronicity would have it, someone told us about a very famous medium. Maybe you heard of him, George Anderson. And we went to see George Anderson, and we were so skeptical, but we wanted some reassurance that his soul would be all right. So we had this meeting with George Anderson, and he put us in touch with so many members of our family that had died, and he gave specific information that no one else could really know. And he brought through many of our loved ones on my wife's side and on my side. And he brought through our son, and he said he was very sorry for what pain he caused us, and so many other loving stories. And we had to, when it was all over, I was just amazed. I said, this had to see how this was done. So I started researching, and as Spirit would have it, I went to a bookstore, and the right books fell out, and I learned how to meditate, and I learned how to channel, and before you know it, one thing happened after another, and I had formed a club. And I met John Edwards, and he agreed to be a guest on our cable show. And after that, the club just took off. It's been 16 years now, and we're involved in all types of psychic phenomena. I don't really speak too much about numerology or astrology or runes or tarot or anything like that. I speak mostly about spirit communication, because a lot of that you have to wait for the answers. But when you get a message from a loved one, you know for sure if it's depending on the medium, how specific they are, you know for sure if that is who your loved one is. They make themselves known. So anyway, we did this for 16 years, and we have, the club is located in the same location in Flushing, Queens. We have 2 psychic fairs a year, and the lectures at the psychic fair are videotaped and put on our program, Psychic Awakening. I encourage people to believe in spirit communication, because what happens with spirit communication, that's what puts you in touch with the real world. Balance. On my shirt here, we have the yin and the yang symbol. The yin and the yang symbol is balance, and that's what we need. Not balance of good and bad and left and right and up and down, as some people say it, but really it's balancing 2 parts of your body, your psychic, your spiritual, and your physical. When these 2 are balanced, you're in harmony with the universe, and when you're in harmony with the universe, you are open to receiving messages. And that's one of the best ways to do this, is to clear yourself up clear your mind out through meditation. Get yourself balanced and meditate, be quiet, and eventually spirit can talk to you. I did this. I was able to channel my very first time, and I channeled, and believe it or not, I received Jesus Christ. Now, some people say, well, how can you receive Jesus Christ? If a person walked the face of this earth, their energies are still here. And if their energy is still here, you can contact them. You can. People say, well, I contact Mother Mary or Moses or Abraham, and there's no doubt. But when someone says they communicate or channel Jesus Christ, you say, oh, that's impossible. You give the power to a lesser energy. And you say, well, I can get Moses, or I can get Mother Mary, I can get this, I can get that. But the most powerful energy that walked the face of this earth was Jesus. And no, this is not a religious talk. This is just that's who my channel is, and that's who I will talk about mostly my books, the messages from his channelings to me. Jesus does not talk about fire and brimstone, hell and damnation. He talks about love. God is love. Well, see, what happened since I became a channel, one of my first message is God is perfect spiritual energy. He's not an old man floating on a cloud with a beard. He's an energy. And this is my belief. It may not be yours. You may think I'm blasphemous in doing this. But eventually, as I do more shows, this is my very first show on YouTube that I'm doing. I'm trying this. And I want to reach out to more people. No money. I'm not going to sell you anything. If you go to our website, you can download my book for absolutely free and read it at your leisure or as a file. We have a lot to learn, a lot of beliefs to change. And the reason we have to believe something new is because it's been over 2,000 years, and what the beliefs have gotten us into trouble. We have fought wars over our beliefs. We have killed many people. Empires were built and destroyed over our beliefs. So the second book I have was Spirit and the Flesh, Removing Limiting Beliefs. And that's what we have to do. We have to remove our limiting beliefs. Beliefs that keep us from being at peace with each other, from loving our neighbors, from doing unto others as we would have them do unto us. These are the beliefs that I talk about. These are spiritual beliefs. I do not preach about sin. I do not preach about fire and brimstone and damnation. I do not condemn. I do not condone, because these are the messages I receive, and I will be talking about them at a later date. So, hoping you watch again when you see a new show on YouTube. Tune in and watch me, and I will tell you about what I've learned, because the messages are through me to you, and they apply to all human beings, of love and peace. And that is what this world needs right now. We also have talk about 2012. Everybody's worried about 2012. These are fear-based feelings. The earth has gone through many changes since creation, and change is the one thing that's constant. Change is inevitable. So if you want to change your mind, your butt will follow. Yes, you can relieve fear and live free of fear. Remember, Chicken Little ran around saying, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. There's nothing you can do about the sky falling. One of my most famous ways of resolving all fear and problem is a serenity prayer. And the serenity prayer, for those who don't know it, is very simple. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you learn this, you'll find you have an easier way of dealing with all situations, because some things are beyond our control. But we are only responsible for one person in this our life, and that's ourselves. And that's the one thing we can change. And as you change, the world around you changes. People react the way they change to you, with you. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I hope to see you again in the near future. And love and light and peace to all. Thank you very much for watching.